Hello everyone, Ladislas Maurice from the wanderinginvestor.com. So today we'll be discussing renovation costs in Istanbul. So back in February, I went to Istanbul and met up with Keith, who is my buyer's agent there, and he showed me an apartment on the top floor of a building in Kurtuluş, a nice area in Istanbul. And this apartment was going through his whole renovation process. So one of his investors had bought the place, didn't like the way it looked, and decided to do a full renovation. So Keith had showed us the apartment, essentially talked about what he planned on doing, where the kitchen would be, etc. He also gave us some numbers. He expected the total renovation to cost between 280 and 350 US dollars per square meter. So as we all know here in the real estate business, there's what real estate people say before renovations, and then there's what actually happens. So that's why I wanted to call him a few months later to follow up and ask him, Keith, so what does the place actually look like? And two, were you over budget? Were you late, etc.? And what was the whole cost breakdown of the renovation? So first we'll go through a video that was filmed by one of my buddies showing the new apartment, what it looks like, and then we'll have a discussion with Keith on all the details.
Hi, welcome. This is the property that we did an A to Z renovation on for one of our clients. So we changed everything: windows, doors, floors, kitchen, washroom, new radiators, absolutely everything. This place was a real dump, you can say, when we came here, but now I think it's been transformed. Very nice living space, good sized living room. Often we have an open kitchen, but this kitchen was quite big and so accessible to the living room that we decided to keep it. So it's a little bit old country, classic style, but I think it turned out really well in the end. I really like it. So Turkish tiles and all Turkish products as we always do in our projects. Same with the washroom, Turkish tiles, and all the fittings are Turkish as well. So I really like this washroom actually. I think it turned out quite nice. These are all custom made and nice storage space here. We come in, we have the guest bedroom. We have the cupboards here as well. And reasonable sized guest bedroom. And here originally there were two rooms, but we took out this wall and made it one big sort of master bedroom. This was an enclosed balcony, but we've opened that up so we can sort of maximize the view there. You can see it's really a beautiful panoramic view. So for this property, it was purchased for around $100,000, $90,000 I think, and we probably spent 250,000 Turkish lira on the renovations. So our renovation costs are approximately $350 per square meter. We put in a spiral staircase here, which goes up to the terrace. And as you can see, we've got a really nice sized terrace here. We're going to put a railing on this. This is the last thing we do for the project. You can see Bomonti and a nice panoramic slice of Istanbul. So that's the project. Took about 3 to 4 months to complete this kind of project, and it's in a really nice neighborhood, Kurtuluş, which is an up and coming, rapidly gentrifying neighborhood. And for this project, the owner will get about a 6 or 7% return on the yield.
So Keith, thank you very much for showing us the apartment and the renovation.
Yeah, thank you very much. Last time we were there, it was snowing and we hadn't yet started the renovation. So the project ran its course and we completed it and delivered it to the client, who is now deciding whether to do Airbnb or to go long term.
Okay, great. So let's go through the actual numbers of the renovation.
Okay, I'll take you through the numbers which I've shared with you. There we had 10 weeks. The demolition came in at 10,500 Turkish lira or 1,400. That's to remove all the tiles in the kitchen and the hallway and the flooring. We knocked out a wall in there, but in the bedroom, and much more. I think I mentioned the flooring as well, and the old doors, etc.
And for the audience, we're using an exchange rate of 7.5 Turkish liras to the USD because it was kind of the average during that project of yours. But now the Turkish lira is at what, 8.7 or almost 9?
Yeah,
So,
towards the end of this project, like the last month or two, it was definitely up closer to like 8.5.
yeah.
So that
so it would have
way,
actually been cheaper for the for your client as he was sending money.
Yeah, impacted the client positively in this case for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, probably got like a 7 or 8% overall saving in USD, perhaps. Okay, so that's the demolition, and then we have the rendering of the walls and floors and the screed, which was 9,300 lira, and we did an extension of the wall in the living room. And then we go down to the plastering and painting, which is 17,000 lira, so $2,300. Electric, all the infrastructure for the electric, that's a pretty good price, 14,000 actually. That's like $1,800. That's very reasonable.
It would definitely cost a lot more in Western Europe, especially with all the regulations and norms.
I would think it must cost 4 times as much as that.
Yeah, easily.
I'm guessing. Yeah, easily, maybe more. Our daily rate for an electrician is probably about $125. So I think maybe in the West, an hourly rate would be close to that. Lighting we see there, we had, this includes all the lamps and ceiling lamps, etc. $2,500. And then windows, we did end up, we had the option to not change the windows because they weren't in bad shape. But in this case, I believe the client said, let's just change them. So I think it just went better with the color scheme in the end, the new windows. That was the sort of primary concern, was an aesthetic one. Doors, we didn't have to replace the front door. There's a nice strong door there already. We did the internal doors, washroom door. I think we even painted the spray, had the doors spray painted a different color. And so those are the costs with the handles and the locks, etc. About 1,000, so not bad for the doors. Ceramics, we chose pretty nice ceramics for the apartments. I should say more than pretty nice, they're beautiful. So we didn't go cheap on those. We spent a little bit of money there, and the client was happy with that. We put in nice quality parquet flooring, which we do in a lot of the rental properties, but sometimes if the owners want to live in the properties, we'll suggest hardwood flooring, and that price can go up quite a bit. But as you see, it's a very reasonable price for the whole flooring. Water pipes and plumbing, 15,000 Turkish lira, or about $2,000. So again, quite good. The terrace, 55,000. 7,300, but obviously
gorgeous terrace, by the way. Amazing.
Yeah, it adds a lot of value to the property, to be honest. And the kitchen, I'm just going to confirm that because that seems a little bit higher than what we would normally spend on the kitchen. I've just messaged the client, so maybe if we get something while we're online here, I'll update you. But it would have been based on his choices. It was a little bit bigger kitchen than we're used to. We usually do like a kind of open kitchen. But this was an enclosed kitchen and a little bit bigger than we might normally do. And then we have the washroom down here. Washroom was very nice. I was very happy with the washroom. It looks very sharp. And the heating system, this is for natural gas heating, including the project. And there we have the totals, which I believe were, 255,000. $34,000 in total. And there we have the total of 283,000 purchase year.
So,
That includes the terrace, which we didn't have in the original estimate, and I think that
oh,
was
okay. I was gonna ask because in February you said it would be approximately 225. Here I see it's 280. So the difference is the terrace that wasn't planned initially.
almost exactly the cost of the terrace, yeah, which I
Okay.
think was 55, maybe 60,000. So that
Wow.
almost
Okay.
exactly.
So you were on budget. I rarely
Yeah.
deal with anyone in renovations that's on budget.
Yeah, I know. We do kind of hit the budgets. We're really careful about that. And when we go over budget, it's very transparent. We just say, look, if you choose this, you might go up in this way. And if it's rare that we go over budget, but sometimes we're getting hit with increases in the time that we give the estimate, and maybe when we start the work, there might be a delay of a few weeks on the client side sometimes, and then we go to order like the ceramics, and oh wow, they just went up 10%. So we have had that scenario a bit. We try to normally not reflect those on the clients, but sometimes we'll, ask them to meet us in the middle.
So we're looking at $370 approximately per square meter, excluding the terrace that is, something apart. Really, it's $300 a square meter for a full renovation. That is, look, if you were going to do this in Budapest to such standards, full demolition and renovation, you can 2.5 exit. And if you were going to do this in France or in the UK or in the Netherlands, I'd say easily 4x, 4.5x in terms of
Really, yeah,
prices per square meter.
I'm not surprised at all about in the Western countries, of course, especially Europe. But I thought when I did renovations in Budapest, I always remember getting pretty good value. I suppose it's gone up a lot there, but I used to use a guy, George, and we probably did about 5 or 6 projects in Budapest. One of my second favorite real estate markets back in those days. And I can't remember the square meter price I was paying, but it was pretty low at that time. Would have been somewhere in the 300 to 400 euro range. Yeah.
It's changed very fast. Now you're looking at 650, 700 euros a square meter.
Okay. So in Budapest, it has gone up. It has gone up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the labor went to the West, massive labor shortages. There's been a fair amount of inflation as well.
Yeah. This was 6 years ago, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So prices have really gone exponential in terms of renovations in Budapest. But essentially, and I think this is one of the key points about being able to buy in Istanbul, is you can do stunning renovations for not much and have top-notch real estate. And whenever you have issues, fixing them is relatively affordable. So from a yield point of view, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. That's why we're slightly pro renovation, but we do look at renovated apartments, and if they're indeed of a standard that our clients are happy with, we sort of say, well, go for it. Or we reverse engineer the price and we say, okay, this flat is $1 million, but it would cost you $250 to renovate it. Could you buy that flat for less than $750? And if the answer is yes, then maybe we would go to unrenovated properties. But also, we can control the aesthetic entirely if we do we can come up with exactly what the client wants, not like an approximation of what they want.
Can you work with interior designers as well?
No, we don't. My wife, she does all of the interior design. She's renovated so many properties over the years, and she's got a very good sense with that. But we usually work hand in hand with the clients. Most of the time these days, it's like going to the showrooms and getting on Zoom or just sending photos and videos. And we choose kind of real time with the client. Like we say, oh, we're going out to choose the flooring today, be online at 2:00. Some clients don't want to do that, but generally we find that they like this little feedback loop that we have, and it's all done on WhatsApp, and we share the costs so they can make their decisions right there real time.
Okay.
We can send through links of the ceramics or whatever if they want to look at the specifications and everything.
It was mentioned 10 weeks, but it looks like more 4 months. So why a delay?
You picked up on that, yeah? In this case, I think it's quite justified because we got hit with the 3-week lockdown in May. So that wiped us out. The other thing is we had these rolling lockdowns on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. And in our business, in the construction business, those are work days. So we lost like 25% of our capacity during this whole project. So I was thinking the same thing as we're going through. I was like, it seems a bit like it's dragging on here. What's going on? I think it was like 13 weeks in the end, something like that.
Okay.
But then I thought, yeah, of course, this is what's happening. But we're sort of back up to full speed now. These kind of projects normally we can do in 10 to 12 weeks, I think is where we're at.
Which is fast, honestly. It's a lot faster than in Europe, generally. Yeah. For a full renovation like this, it would take longer in Europe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool, fantastic. Keith, thank you very much for your time. This was very interesting. It's one of the main pain points as an investor in international real estate is actual renovation costs, because you don't get that data anywhere online, and having such a breakdown is very useful. So thanks for being transparent with us. Thanks for showing this to us.
My pleasure. If anybody ever wants, I can give them multiple and recent estimates, and then even they can, I often put my clients in contact with other clients just to sort of say beforehand, like, this guy will tell you what the process was like, what's expected of you. And it's really nice. Everybody's contacting everybody now. Wonderful.
Cool, great. So if you already have an apartment in Istanbul and you need a renovation, feel free to get in touch with Keith. If you're looking to invest in real estate in Istanbul, feel free to get in touch with Keith. And also Keith can help you choose the right properties for the Turkish citizenship by investment. There's a link below with his profile, the information, his process, and also his email. Keith, always a pleasure.
Thanks very much, Ladislas.